Hello, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your guide to the cultural arts in Harford County. The arts continue to thrive in our community, and here on Kaleidoscope, we keep you up to date on what's happening by highlighting local artists, featuring the latest arts events, and talking with event organizers. Let's get started. Christmas, one of the loveliest times of the year, the season of gift giving, of trees bedecked in lights and colored glass, of Santa Claus and reindeer, and most of all, holiday music. As has been the tradition since 1974, the sounds of Christmas resound each December with a unique Tuba Christmas celebration. This year marks the 42nd anniversary for Tuba Christmas concerts worldwide. And here in Harford County, tuba and euphonium musicians will unite to delight audiences with their holiday favorites. Joining me with all the details is Randy Harrison, coordinator of Merry Tuba Christmas, and Mr. Tuba of Harford County.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm flattered with the Mr. Tuba.
That's fine.
That was the nickname given to Harvey Phillips, the founder of the Tuba Christmas.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about, first of all, we'll talk about when Tuba Christmas started, or how it got started, I should say.
Tuba Christmas nationally and internationally was started by Harvey Phillips, a former freelancer in New York, and eventually professor of tuba at Indiana University.
Which is a big music school.
Oh, a fine music school.
Yeah.
He wanted to honor his teacher at Juilliard, William Bell, who was born on Christmas Day.
And a good name for a tuba player, I might
Oh,
add.
excellent. Excellent. Bell, yes. Mr. Bell played for the New York Philharmonic, played under Toscanini in the NBC Symphony Orchestra, and also in John Philip Sousa's band back in the early part of the 20th century at age 18.
It's quite a pedigree there, quite a legacy for Tuba Christmas.
So that was one of the goals for Tuba Christmas. Mr. Phillips got permission to do a mass tuba choir in Rockefeller Center back in '74.
Wow.
And needed music. He recruited his friend Alec Wilder, the great American film composer, to arrange 4-part carols.
Oh, they must be beautiful.
They are. They're gorgeous and
Yeah.
very original arrangements, which is characteristic of Mr. Wilder's music.
So it was a big smashing success in New York, and then how did it start to spread across the country?
I don't know exactly how it started, but I imagine people in other towns, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Boston, started saying, well, we'd like to do one too. And the Harvey Phillips Foundation, which exists to promote tuba, etc., became the arbiter of Tuba Christmas internationally and gave out permission to other cities. And it's now all over the world.
And it's here, more importantly, in Harford County, thanks to you. So tell us a little bit of what inspired you to take this on, besides being a great tuba player that you
Well,
are.
thank you. I'm flattered. One of my students at Maryland Conservatory of Music, Sarah Jensen, her mother was a very, very active mother and supportive, and I told her to take Sarah down to Baltimore for Tuba Christmas, explained what it was, and she asked me if we could have one here. So I contacted the Phillips Foundation, and they gave us permission.
That's
and
terrific.
Off we went. Maryland Conservatory of Music sponsors it, as does the town of Bel Air.
Okay, so even though you're a one-man band, haha, pun, pun, you've got a lot of support then.
Positively, and it can't be done without those people. Dave Gigliotti at the Armory, et cetera.
Sure, yeah. Okay, well, let's put up so people can, they're probably wondering, when does this event occur? It's December 20th, right?
Correct. We traditionally try to be the Sunday before Christmas, December 20th. The concert is actually from 5 until 6 p.m. Audience is admitted free at the Armory. If you want to play, you come in at about 2:30 and register. Tuba players, euphonium players.
Now, for people who don't know what a euphonium is, you should explain.
Right. Okay, for those who want to know what a euphonium is, it's a small tuba. It's, I call it a tenor tuba, a lot of people do. And it's, in the United States, they used to call them baritone horns also.
Right.
But they are pitched an octave above the B-flat tuba.
Okay.
And I thank many euphonium players who bailed me out of the ox cart solo in pictures and exhibition over the years.
Okay, now so there's not an audition to play in this, just anyone can play. They just bring their euphonium or their tuba and...
Skill level and age is not an issue.
Okay.
Everybody come. There's enough players who've played Tuba Christmas. They know the repertoire. We get together and I rehearse. I rehearse an hour and a half, and we really rehearse to try to polish it.
Okay, so if it starts at 5, you get there about 3 o'clock. You rehearse from 3 to 4:30.
4:30, correct.
All right, and this is again at the Bel Air Armory.
That's it.
Okay, and then what about the audience? Is there an admissions price?
No, as I mentioned before, it's a free of charge admission
Oh,
for the
okay.
audience. Absolutely. Come one,
Terrific.
come all.
Okay.
And it's a great event.
What's the age range of the people who are involved?
Our youngest has been at Bel Air, age 9, a young lady who had just gotten her first euphonium that September at school, and said, "Is it okay to come out and play?" And I said, "Absolutely. You come out and just play what you can."
Okay.
And you'll always learn. You'll get better by playing with players who are better than you.
Yeah. And quickly, what does it sound like to have? I mean, how many people do you get actually?
Well, last year we had 60.
Wow, 60 tubas and euphoniums. Pretty awesome sound, I would guess.
And the Armory is just such a reverberant hall.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful.
I bet it is. Okay, and so this is wonderful for the holiday season, but what happens when, the lights go off and there's no more Christmas, no more holidays? What do you tuba players do then?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
No. Well, amateur tuba players especially, there's a lot of opportunities, even right here in Bel Air. There's the Bel Air Town Band,
Terrific.
community music, the Susquehanna Symphony, which is a fine ensemble conducted by Sheldon Bear.
Yeah.
There are other possibilities around.
And you can study at the Maryland Conservatory with you.
With me,
Okay,
absolutely.
terrific.
And it's we give private lessons to enhance the wonderful job that the Harford County Public Schools
Okay.
do with music in the area.
Terrific. Well, we look forward to hearing you and 59 other players on
I
December
just
20th.
wave a stick.
Okay, well, we'll enjoy that as well. Thank you so much, Randy.
Thank you.
All right. Well, have you heard the news? Baltimore's most popular radio morning show for more than 2 decades is back on the air. Later in the program, the hosts of Rouse & Company will be in the studio, so stay tuned. It's a wonderful way to celebrate the holiday season, the Candlelight Tour of historic Harvard Grace. Here to tell us about this year's beloved tradition is Sierra Fisher, Executive Director of the Susquehanna Museum at the Lock House. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, yes, the holidays are upon us, and I think it's become quite a tradition that folks think of Harvard Grace, the Candlelight Tour, and the museum. But the museum's been around a lot longer than just this holiday season. So let's start at the beginning. Tell me a little bit about the history of the museum and the museum's mission.
So the Lock House itself was built in 1840, and it was the home of the lock tender and office of the toll collector who worked on the Susquehanna and Tidewater Canal. And it opened up as a museum in 1982 to collect and preserve and display the history of Harvard Grace and the Susquehanna and Tidewater Canal.
We're looking at a photo of it right now for those people who may have not ever visited. It's a beautiful building and really a lovely location. I love the grounds, and it's a fun place to hang out here in Harvard Grace. And why were this whole system, this whole waterway system, so important to Harvard Grace and to the area?
Sure. So it would bring coal and lumber from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania down to Havre de Grace, which would then be taken to Philadelphia and Baltimore.
Okay, so it really connected, it served as a connection between the East Coast and...
And the West,
Wow.
further out.
Okay, very important place. So the museum's been up and running, now you say, since the 80s. And the holiday period is one time that I think it takes on a special beauty of all of its own. Tell us a little bit about this year's event.
Sure. So the Candlelight Tour this year is December 12th. It's on a Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. And we have 16 different stops. There are homes, there are civic organizations, churches who all decorate for the holidays and open their doors to visitors.
And so the Lock House is one of the stops,
Yes.
one of the 16 stops. And I guess, is it fair to say, characterize it, it's sort of the iconic figure of the iconic place of the tour?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We highly recommend it to be a starting point for the tour.
Okay. It's also a great, gives a great opportunity for people to do some holiday shopping, does it not, with the boutique? Tell us about that.
So the boutique will be Saturday and Sunday, and it is a place where you can go and buy different things to give as gifts. We have the Lock House ladies who have all these wonderful crafts they make, and they donate them to the museum as well as run the boutique, and all the proceeds go right back to the museum.
So there'll be some holiday-themed things, but also then non-holiday. I mean, great gifts, but not necessarily just about the Christmas.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we've got the time and play and dates up there as well. And so Christmas time is wonderful. We looked at a picture of the Log House a little earlier in all its snowy splendor, which is beautiful. But you have things going on then beyond Christmas. Tell us a little bit about what's on your schedule.
So first, for 2016, we'll have our Shank series, which is just an educational opportunity. We'll do workshops, have lectures, book discussions, and we'll do that in February, March, and April.
Okay, and so people can find out more information about what those lectures will be about if they go on your website.
Yes.
But historically in the past, they've been what? Can you give me some ideas of the types of things you present?
So we've done an archival workshop, we've done an oral history workshop, we've had a book discussion on a historical nonfiction novel, and then we've also just had historic lectures.
Okay, all right, so that's from February to April, and then you kind of officially reopen in April.
April, yes.
Okay. All right, and so tell me about some of the things that go on then once you're back up and running.
Sure, so we're open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 1 to 5 once we reopen, and then in June, our next big event is our Pirate Festival.
Okay, and that is a very popular event, and you have people coming from all over for the Pirate event. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure, so we have 4 different events. We have the pub crawl on Friday, then a 5K on that Saturday morning, and then we do a historic encampment Saturday and Sunday. And then that Saturday evening, we have a big dinner party bash.
Terrific. And how many people do you typically get?
Over the weekend in whole, we'll get over 1,000 people easily.
That's terrific.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've been with the museum now, the Lock House Museum, for how long?
About 3 years.
Yeah. And are you from this area originally?
Yes, I'm from Cecil County.
Okay, so did you know about the Lock House? I mean, it's a pretty well-known landmark here.
Yep, I had been there once when I was a kid, so yeah.
So currently, do you have tours from the local schools come?
Yes, so we give tours to any Harford County public school for free, actually. So we have a lot of school groups, as well as from outside the county.
So if you were going to tell me your most favorite aspect of the Lock House or most interesting anecdote that you would have, can you share one with us?
Actually, my favorite part is probably not even in the building. We have a functioning pivot bridge over the lock that you can push, and it weighs 10,000 pounds, built exactly like the original.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great tool, and it's fun. People love it.
How do you push 10,000 pounds?
It's
engineered so beautifully.
Exactly.
Well, there it is again, and it is a very special place. So we encourage everyone to come out, particularly over the holidays for the Candlelight Tour and the boutique, and then all year round as well. So Sierra Fisher, great to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
The town of Bel Air Film Festival celebrates the art of filmmaking by bringing award-winning films to Harford County every fall. We were there to enjoy this year's inspiring lineup, so grab your popcorn. It's time to go out and about.
This is the 7th annual Town of Bel Air Film Festival, and it is an independent film festival. We look for films that are playing in other festivals that have won awards and that you can't find in theaters normally, but are popular films that are playing across the nation.
We thought it would be really important that people in the area who don't get a chance to see some of these films that go to major cities like New York, Chicago, LA, that they get a chance to see these really high quality films too. So we're really pleased to be able to bring them in from all over the country to show here in the town of Bel Air.
The Armory is where we hosted, and it's such a wonderful venue where people from all over the area can come and enjoy Main Street and shop in the shops and have dinners and then come see a movie. So it's perfect location to do this kind of festival.
This particular building is a very unique resource for events, and I think more people need to know about it. It's a great venue for any type of party that you have, or a movie showing, just about anything, and they're very flexible on the rental of this building.
One of the great things about film festivals like the Bel Air Film Festival, not only do you get a chance to see a film, but also you'll get a chance to perhaps talk to the filmmaker themselves or talk to somebody who has expertise in the area that the film is about.
Well, we're very excited about tonight because the festival's been growing every year. Tonight we're expecting a sold-out crowd, perhaps 150, 180 people. So we're very excited. We also have a VIP reception tonight, so it's a mixture of people from the area who are invited, and then the public is coming in. And the film we have tonight is of real interest to this area, so it's going to be packed. We pick our films by scouring all the film festivals around the country. We're looking for ones that it's important to us that are family friendly because of the area, because that's what our festival's about, and that are of really high quality. So one of them was Harry and Snowman, which is premiering tonight. And it's a committee that watches the films, and when we see one that's really good, we get very excited and say, "That's it, it was great!" And we know we're going to put it in the festival.
Tonight I believe there's some folks who are involved in rehabilitation with horses, so they'll be here. So it's a great opportunity to not only see a film, but have a discussion and a dialogue afterwards, which you can't get that if you're watching a movie on your, sitting on your couch at home.
So I actually got to see Harry DeLayer ride in 1983. When I was in college, I was an usher at the Devon Horse Show in Devon, Pennsylvania, and in 1983 he won the open jumper stake. I think he won like $7,500 that night, and I got to see him do it. He rode a horse called Dutch Crown, and being from Holland, that name of the horse was very near and dear to Harry. But Harry was called the Galloping Grandfather because he was 55 years old. Can you imagine? So old. So he would, after he completed a round of jumping, he would doff his cap to the cheers of the audience, and that was kind of his shtick, if you will. But he's an accomplished horseman, and he started with nothing, and that's how we started Chesapeake Therapeutic Riding. I had a horse, I had no money, and I had one rider who needed our services, and I had